Woo-hoo. Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. Welcome back. Hey, look at that. The week is over already. And I tell you, boy, we always got something going on. Real quick, just wanted to say welcome back and make sure you do the thing, like, comment, subscribe. Just really quick, that was give credit to the New York Post, I believe, for that clip. It's also on House of Hoops on ESPN.com on just a lot of different platforms. So that was kind of like the talk of the day. So, but we'll try to tie it into something, a little more specific or based to us, just as quote unquote great people who don't make millions and gazillions of dollars every day to live, play sports or to report on sports. Now, so what you saw there was last night, the game at the crypto.com arena. I think it was, formerly the Staples Center in LA. And what happens was that there's been, because I was talking to a friend today, there has been a big deal, actually my brother, about the landscape of sports. So if you never played sports, like I stopped playing football in around the ninth grade because I wasn't getting any playing time or anything. So I just chalked it up, right? But you have some people who have gone on the bigger heights, become high school stars, all state stars, city champs, going on to college, played D1 ball or whatever, D3, but still they have a storied or documented college career. In the sense of LeBron James, where I kind of do side with Stephen A. with him, is that I do look at LeBron as, for me, and probably because I grew up watching Jordan, as he is the second best player of all time behind Jordan. Just for a couple of reasons for me. Jordan never lost a championship. And I think, when you're younger and you're watching something and you marvel at it, you're like, wow. And it felt like a tougher NBA. But I think this NBA is probably more athletic, if you want to look at it like that. But for Stephen A. Smith, who I definitely admire. I've watched him for a long time. But for him, I'm surprised that LeBron has just now done this. And the reason why I say that is because even watching First Take for years, watching sports for years, I could tell that this is, and LeBron overall, I think, is a good guy, but he's a polarizing figure, because you have a lot of people who, say, hey, look, I don't really care for LeBron. I'm more of a Kobe guy, or more of a Mike guy, or something like that. So you have a lot of people who have like a weird kind of, they don't really care for a lot of things LeBron, although he basically epitomizes what a good man, a good black man should be. All of his representation, I believe, I'm not sure about his lawyer, but all of his, especially basketball related affairs, things, predominantly black, married a black wife, of course. And he's done stuff, quote unquote. He stayed out of the, trouble and everything. Because to me, he's definitely the most scrutinized / viewed / visible, especially with the advent of social media, star to have ever lived. I don't think that there's anybody else who, even Jordan at his greatest, because there was no social media, which created a 24-hour news cycle, there were certain things that Jordan didn't have to worry about. Even though Jordan had his issues, but there were things he didn't have to worry about. But as far as a one total basketball player that I've seen that could fill up the stat sheets and everything like that, LeBron James, in my estimation, is the best person to ever have played basketball from that sense. All right. So as far as ability, height, speed, all of that other kind of stuff. But anyway, back onto the subject at hand. So, because from what I see a lot on First Take, Stephen A. is in LA a lot. So it was just surprising to me that this was the one time I guess LeBron has just had enough, because a couple of weeks ago they had been talking a lot about how they felt like LeBron had disrespected the game by not going on, showing up to All-Star game in street clothes, only letting the league know an hour before the game. And even me, I didn't really care for it, but I said, you know what? Just let him get a pass. I mean, it is LeBron James, right? But no, they harped on it on First Take and some other shows on ESPN for a lengthy period of time. And, Just like with a lot of other people, I'm sure LeBron was just tired of hearing it. He's like, yo, I don't want to hear that no more. Like, stop talking about me. And then, of course, there's the issue because supposedly, if you go back and watch First Take, this is the issue that Stephen A. Said was primarily what LeBron was saying to him. Basically, keep my son's name out of your mouth. Is because, I mean, for me, I personally think that his son probably, you know, just from watching basketball for a long time, may not have been the greatest person to be in the league, but does LeBron deserve some cachet and should be able to do things like this from time to time? Sure, you know what I mean. But and the Lakers were probably the only team that was going to take him anyway, right? And they took him in the second round. But yeah, but his stats have shown that he has not been a great player as far as at the NBA level, maybe the G League, but not necessarily at the NBA level. So everybody kind of understood that, it's LeBron. So LeBron has given him a pass. LeBron has gotten him into the league. Cool. Right. But what I think is it's a deeper issue. And I think that what happens is that there are a lot of things that pile on, especially, us as men. We go through a lot of things, women also, but because I'm a man, I just speak from the experience of a lot of the stressors that men go through. And of course, does LeBron live a hell of a life? Hell yeah. So does Stephen A. But to me, I feel like this was a culmination of, dog, this is my LeBron voice. Dog, look, Stephen A., you've been talking smack about me for years, man. Not just comparing me to Jordan, and that's cool with that because, I admire and look up to Jordan. But I mean, does it have to be all the time? You always got to call me the second greatest player of that's ever touched the basketball. Why can't you just say I'm the best player that's playing right now? Why can't you just say, hey, look, I'm doing my thing right now. LeBron James is the face of the league, which we all know. I'm doing my thing right now. Why is there always a constant comparison to somebody else? That's for the fans to do. That is not for as a media outlet for you to do. But I was telling my brother earlier, what happens is that, see, years ago with sports, all you did was you sat and you watched a lot of Sports Center, a lot of just different shows, and just, they would have little pieces from time to time. But because the hot take society, especially for television, has become so huge with the first takes or, a couple of other, the one that Skip and Shannon had on FS1, and Get Up on ESPN. All of these shows are debate shows. And with debate shows, you got to have a hot take. So typically what happens is I discuss one side, and yeah, sometimes you'll agree with me, but then you have others with differing opinions, right? So that way it creates a great debate. So whereas I say Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time, and somebody say, man, you from that old school, so of course you would feel like that. I feel like KD is the greatest, or I feel like Bron is the greatest, or depending on what age you at, Kobe was the greatest, right? So it's always a debate. But see, here's the problem when, unfortunately, and to bring stuff full circle, is here we go again, right? Here we go again. Confrontation appearing, because you can rewind this and look at it. I'm sure you may have already looked at it already. LeBron gave a look, and this is a man, it may be a woman. LeBron gave a look that even me, as another man, right? Because I'm barely 6 feet tall. I'm not even 6 feet tall, right? Stephen A. Smith, I think, is about 6'2" or 6'3". LeBron James is easily 6'8", 6'9", right? But the look that LeBron gave him was like, listen, dog, if we were anywhere else, I'd pick you up by your neck. And even when I watched the interview, not the interview, when you go on and watch Stephen A.'s explanation, everything, in my estimation, now he may come back out and say it later, he seemed a bit shook. He seemed shook. And I mean, I guess I would too. If somebody 6'9", knowing that can run like a deer and lift all kinds of weights and do everything, you know what I'm saying? Because it's survival of the fittest. It's you know what I'm saying? The king of the jungle. And that's the way men think. So unfortunately, the fan didn't catch what happened that preceded that. Stephen A. said, I think he said that he came over to him on the bench and he was just sitting there courtside and LeBron came up and said something to him. Well, he's been courtside of many of LeBron's games, especially over the past 5 or 6 years, where his coverage of LeBron or his takes on LeBron have been extremely critical. So you would say to yourself, like, hey, you know what I mean? LeBron, why did you never say anything to him, before about anything? But it just goes to show you, when a person wants to fire back on you, you never know. It depends. It's really up to them, right? So a couple things. First, men, and that's why I say here we go again. Black men, we all get upset. And I'm not saying who's right or who's wrong in this. All I'm saying is just that I wish that our nastiness and confrontations didn't get caught on camera so much. I mean, geez, as esteemed and as great as LeBron James is. And look, I'm not saying he did anything wrong, because you're going to have a lot of fathers and mothers who said, about time. Right? But the thing is culturally, you want to stop seeing this kind of stuff, because just like even if some of the commentary I've given, it makes a person seem like one guy's this big bad guy and other guy's this little scared guy, right? And they're both black. So thank God, nothing happened. I know, LeBron wasn't going to hit him or anything like that, but LeBron get that look like, yo, dog, you keep it up, I will. So, but anyway, I just want to say in closing, hopefully, because I know that sports is a sport with an event with a lot of emotion. But two things. One, sometimes we can't be so sensitive about what people say about us, especially once we get to a nice good age. I think LeBron is 40. I think Stephen A. is maybe 52 or 53. And I think that also Stephen A., because I'm sure every athlete around the world is probably saying of LeBron, about time you got on his ass. So, but then in the other vein also too with Stephen A. has to make sure that he's aware of what he's saying. Sometimes a person can drive stuff in a hole, and it will just start to, and you do things and it just starts to take a toll on a person. Because Brian's been in the league for 22 years now. I've never seen him personally confront a reporter. But, maybe he's to the point where he's just like, yo, I'm tired. And now my son is involved. I'm tired of your ish. Like, cut it out. So we'll see how things go from this point forward. We'll see if, because I know Stephen A. Smith has his own talk show. We'll see how he covers it tonight. But hey, what I want y'all to do is have a great weekend. We'll be back kicking it again on Monday. So, I hope you enjoyed the week. And, I know I've enjoyed you. So, wait, did that come out right? I've enjoyed you. Maybe I haven't enjoyed any. Well, okay. I've enjoyed your feedback and you viewing, and I really appreciate it. All right. So go out there this weekend. Have a good time. Be safe. You got the kids. Do something with the kids. Do something cool. And we'll be back at it on Monday. All right.